this is a review of the last year of this channel. So I'm going to be talking about kind of the statistics and kind of the course of the channel over the past year. This is the kind of Sebastian Walkr channel, which is my artist name, and I make a bunch of videos on here regarding music production and sampling, and this is kind of a summary of how the first year of the channel has gone. So the first long-form video that I put out on this channel was on January 22nd, 2022. And it was me sampling a 1970s track, and honestly, I think the beat is pretty fire, if I do say so myself. And then since then, I've put out about 27 videos over the course of the last year. So my goal during the year was to put out about one video every 2 weeks. And although I took some breaks that were slightly longer than those weeks, I was able to achieve my goal with about a little bit over one video every 2 weeks. So now let's look at some statistics. So over the last year, we're going to be looking at from January 25th, 2022, all the way up to January 25th, 2023. In the beginning of January 2022, I had about 2 subscribers and about 100 views. And since then, the channel has grown to about 317 subscribers, and you guys have watched over 24,000 times. So I really think that that's personally crazy. I didn't expect these kinds of numbers. I didn't expect this kind of support that you guys have given me over the course of the year. And I'm really super grateful for everyone that comes and watches and comments and comes back to see the new videos. And even if you've only come one time and watched one video and you hated it, I'm at least glad you gave it a try. So thank you for that. Now let's look at the top performing videos and the worst performing videos over the last year. So the top performing videos are the following. So learning saturation in 4 minutes, and it had 6,900 views. Let's go. So the next one, second most top performing video, was lo-fi hip-hop from scratch with 5,700 views. And then the third one was how to sample in 10 minutes, which had 1,800 views. So the top two had a ton of views, and then the third one had a little bit less, which is, I'm super glad for all the views. So I think the discrepancy, perfectly cool. So now let's look at the bottom 3 performing videos, not including the newest 2 videos to just kind of give them some time to grow. So the worst performing video was drumming in Japan gardens with 21 views. And this was kind of expected since it's a video of just drumming. The next one was 3 tips for hard-hitting drums, which had 50 views. And then the next one was getting kicked out of a Japanese art gallery, which had 40 views. So what can we learn about these videos that people didn't watch? So I guess the main thing for me is that people don't like drumming, or maybe I'm not a good drummer, or maybe at least I'm not able to make videos that are interesting for people to watch for drumming. And that's cool, people can't be good at everything. And then the next part is maybe people don't really find the vlogging kind of style, at least when I do it, or at least with my skill level, that interesting yet. But for me personally, making the getting kicked out of an art gallery video was interesting because I really enjoyed kind of getting to record my experiences in Japan and be able to, in the future, look back and say, hey, these are the things I did. Look at all these cool videos of where I was. I find that super interesting. So it was more so for me rather than for all you homies. And now I'm going to be answering 5 questions about myself. And if you want to answer the same questions in the comments, I'd love for you guys to. I'd really like to get to know a little bit more about you guys and about the people that watch these videos and kind of what you're interested in and what kind of stuff you like to do. So the first question is, what do you do? So I'm currently in my last year of my engineering degree, and my degree is in electrical engineering, and I study in Canada. So if you've watched a few of my videos, you probably noticed that sometimes the location changes from video to video when they're recorded outside. And this is because my degree has something called co-op, and basically is paid internships, and you switch every 4 months between school and work. 2, what kind of music do you like to listen to and to make? So personally, I listen to all different kinds of music. I like hip-hop, jazz, indie, and some pop, though I would say I mostly listen to hip-hop. I like to make hip-hop music, but I try to make a variety of other genres as well, like R&B and indie, and I'm trying to move into kind of more of some soul as well. 3, what do you like to do for fun? So I like to stay very active, and I spend a lot of time doing sports like basketball and volleyball and rock climbing. And I'd say that those are kind of the things that I like to do most often outside of music and making videos. 3.5, how big is it? So I can't really talk about that on YouTube, but if you look at the number of the question, you might get a little bit of a hint. 4, name one underground artist and YouTube channel. So TATSUYA Maruyama is a really cool Japanese guitarist that makes kind of these guitar / lo-fi songs. And I really like his songs called Soup and UREI by him. And I'll put the links for those in the description. For YouTube, I really need to watch more small YouTubers like myself, to be honest. But I really like Kavan Dignam's videos on music production. But don't watch his videos until you finish this video, because I don't want him stealing my homies. So stop. Next part is, what's the plan for the channel over the next year? My plan is to keep making music production tutorials and the how-to videos on some of my favorite artists. So I'm also going to keep putting out some of the sample videos, because personally I like making them, and they are not that difficult to make in my opinion. Like, though it's a little bit difficult to create the sample itself, the production on the video side tends to be a little bit less intensive than the tutorials or the how-to videos. So in addition, I also want to expand into more of these kind of talking to the camera videos, where maybe I talk about some different topics, and also some more of some vlogging videos, because I think I find them interesting, and I want to be able to kind of record some things that happen in my life a little bit more. So the last part is going to be a little bit less upbeat, because I want to be transparent about some of the challenges over the past year with YouTube and music, because I find that not a lot of people talk about kind of the challenges. They talk about kind of the big super fun parts, like, oh, it's really cool to make videos and get people to watch, but they don't really talk about the challenges that come across with those. So here's a few challenges that I've been facing over the past year that I just want to talk about. And first off, I want to be clear that I'm very privileged to be able to have the free time and the kind of skills to be able to make these videos, and the resources to be able to take that time to be able to make videos and make music. So I want to say I'm very grateful, because I know that there's not a lot of people that are able to do that. And then in addition, I'm really grateful for the people that I have in my life, like my family and my friends. I'm really grateful for the support of everybody in the comments and everybody that watches. And I think that even though the community that has been growing is pretty small, and is growing, in my opinion, super rapidly, I find that everyone has been very supportive and very open about things that they are really liking about the videos, and also their criticisms. So I appreciate those all, and please continue to give me your comments and your suggestions for things, and I'll be doing my best to try to implement those. So the first challenge is that video production takes so much more time than I expected. So I definitely think that part of that is a learning curve, because I really did not have any video making experience other than the tiny bit of video making experience from school, because they're basically, like, when they tell you, oh, go make a video for this presentation, or go make a video for this project, and then you go home and you use your Windows Movie Maker, and then it crashes halfway through and you have no idea what you're doing. So I think other than those tiny bits of experience, it's definitely been a huge learning curve for being able to kind of understand how to make videos, and then how to make them interesting, and then how to get people to watch as well. But I do find that I think I've definitely improved my skills a lot when it comes to video production and being able to make videos faster. But I do find that even though my skill has improved, I'm always trying to improve the quality as well. So even though maybe it's taking the same amount of time, I find that I'm able to make a lot higher quality videos in that same amount of time. So personally, I don't mind that much that it takes that much time, but I just want to give kind of some context into why I don't necessarily have as consistent of a schedule when it comes to putting out videos, or I'm not able to make as many videos as I want to. And definitely a lot of it comes down to just the time to be able to make videos high quality that I like, and then also kind of making the musical portion of it also takes some time, right? Because I don't want to put out music or give you guys kind of content in these videos that's shit musically, you know. The second challenge is more of a personal one that some of you might face as well when it comes to work and when it comes to making music. I find that I feel a big pressure to make more videos and make more music, which kind of sits at the back of my mind even when I'm doing other stuff like kind of playing sports or hanging out with friends. So now this pressure doesn't really come from anything external. Like there's no pressure for sponsorships or money because none of these videos making money anyway, and there's no pressure when it comes to like the listeners of the music, you know, because there aren't really that many listeners anyway, so it's all good. But I definitely find that the pressure is coming kind of within me because it's like, oh, I want to be making stuff. I need to be working on things. I need to be spending my time doing kind of things that are useful. So I definitely find that that pressure isn't really coming from externally. It's definitely coming from like things that I set for myself. And this pressure can be kind of a blessing and a curse, right? Because for me, it definitely motivates me to make more content and make more music and kind of improve my skills. But the downside is that it's really hard to kind of relax and not be doing that and really take my mind off of the creation process, you know? I also think that it can decrease the quality of the stuff that I do make because it's kind of being made out of pressure rather than being made out of, rather than coming out naturally from the process that I want to do. But that's kind of a different conversation altogether about whether or not you should be kind of creating stuff for the sake of creating stuff, or you should be creating just for the purpose of kind of getting, letting it flow out of you. So the third challenge is not really that important, but I want to talk about it and kind of be open about it because I definitely think it's something that a lot of people, when they make music and stuff like that, are dealing with. So I put a lot of music out onto streaming sites, and I don't have that many listeners, which is fine. This is not a push for you to listen to the music or anything like that. Don't worry. This is more of a way to kind of talk about the external validation from kind of getting views and getting listens versus the validation from the process of making something. So for me, the validation comes from the act of like creating it and creating music and then creating videos as well, or else I think I wouldn't have as much pressure into making that kind of stuff. But for me, like I think that's where kind of the pressure comes from. So I mean, there's part of me that does want to have more listeners for sure, but it's much less than the pressure that comes from the pressure of making more stuff. But then what about for you guys? Like, is it the same? Is it different? I'm sure there's a portion of everybody that wants to see those numbers go up, but I just want to see what it's like for everybody else versus for me. So feel free to comment about what it is for you guys. So this is the end of the recap. Thanks for everybody that watched, and then thanks to everybody that's been supporting over the past year and commenting and things like that. Let me know if there's any cool videos you want me to make over the next year, and I'll do my best to try to make them. Talk to you guys next time. See you.